What is going on, guys? I know. It's been a while, um, but I'm hopefully back more. I'm on a little vacation this week, so I decided I'm gonna try and pump out a few videos for you guys here. Um, this one's just gonna be kind of one of those little learning ones, and here at one of my more favorite tracks, I guess you could say. Charlotte and the 360 is a lot of fun for me. I really enjoy this combination. This isn't an official or anything like that. This is a hosted race with the SSR NARC guys. They're new, well, not new, but they're rebranded Ignition League, aka the old Rookie Series. So a few of us jump in here, sometimes nightly or maybe a couple times a week, and just try to help these guys out as much as they can. And if any of you guys are actually watching this right now, from the first one I was in to the most recent one, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed on the way everybody is improving. Honestly, the tracks have been getting decently slick, and you guys are getting the hang of it pretty well. So that's been kind of a joy to watch and be a part of, and just knowing that you guys are benefiting from that, and well, allowing us to come in here and practice ourselves too. It's been good practice for me too. So this one's just gonna be a little kind of I guess you'd call it like a driving through traffic kind of little helpful, hopefully, tutorial video here. So, like I said, Charlotte, one of my better tracks, one I enjoy a little bit more. Obviously not as much when it gets a little bit bumpy, but you can see here myself, Greg, Bruce, I think one other guy. We took some EOLs here at the beginning, and right away you can see it was pretty hectic on the start. There are a lot of cautions. You can see the dashed lines are on the laps. We'll skip through those and stuff, but I just wanted to go through this because the biggest mistake I see with guys new to all of this is not not willing to give when they're in situations, and when you're a little bit newer to iRacing as a whole. It seems like as you progress through the ranks, you might kind of hit a plateau, and not necessarily based on skill level, but just based on your patience and your ability to predict and see things around you before they happen. Right off the bat, I mean, we saw that start, and it wasn't great, but guys got it going, evened out and stuff. But we came around after the first lap here, and a couple of these guys got into each other right away on the front stretch here. This is Marcus Larson and Bryce Barris. Bryce is one of the admins for the league, or one of the leagues, I think. But you can see Marcus gets a little crossed up on the cushion, a little too much sideways, and then Bryce checks up behind him, and then Marcus kind of has to turn this into like 2 or 3 corners. And there's one turn, and then he gets going straight, and then he has to turn again, and then comes back down the track. And Bryce just probably a little bit anxious to try and get around him here. And this is the other thing, you never know with iRacing who's on what kind of setup, right? So you don't know if somebody's running triple monitors or VR or just a single screen with the FOV like this, where you can't really see this guy out here. So always, my number one tip is to always assume the guys around you have this view. It's either going to look something like this or something like this. Okay, so they're not always going to see where you're at perfectly, and they're not always going to know you're right there next to them in situations like this. So you can see Bryce doesn't really get out of the gas here. This guy gets crossed up, and he tries to get a little too throttle happy, I guess, to get alongside of him probably, and gets into the back of him here, and that gets him all scrolled up, gets hit from behind, and then he's got damage, and he's in last place. On lap 1, I want to go back and show my lap 1 here just for, the sake of going right here into 3 and 4. So Greg on the bottom, and then somebody, Daniel Kelly right here. So I see Bruce. I have triples, so I can see all of this, right? So I have Bruce here in front of him, Kelly, and then Greg. I know there's a lot of speed in the middle of the track, but Daniel doesn't go all the way up to the wall. Greg's coming up just a little bit on my left side here. Let me move this. And I hit the brakes. Okay. Driving in traffic is all about, just think about real life. When you're on the highway, or, I live in California, so we got a lot of traffic here, right? So, you imagine just maybe a big 18-wheeler on your right side in the slow lane, and a guy in his souped up Dodge Challenger on your inside trying to pass you in the fast lane, right? So break it down into lanes here if you can, when you're on the track and you have that kind of time to read and react to things. I know Greg in his mind right now doesn't like where he's at. Okay, he's stuck on the bottom, so he wants to get up high enough to get his entry into 3 so he doesn't have to square it off. And then Daniel knows, okay, well, the top's probably not all that fast yet, so he's not going to go all the way out to those marbles. There's marbles here in the middle still to hit. So lap 1, fine. I don't need to pass these guys yet. I'm going to hit the brakes. I don't need to shoot that gap because Bruce is still here too. Bruce is still here. There's nowhere for me to really go. I can't dive through here and try to slide up in front of Kelly and hope Greg just stays low, because Bruce is here in front, and then there's another car as well. So hit the brakes, let it go. We got 29 laps to figure out how to pass these cars. Okay. Again, we saw the Bryce incident. Count that as a pass. You lap 1, you were patient. Hey, you made a pass. A guy wrecked. This track didn't start off as slick as we had wanted to. And again, on lap 2, we see the same thing. Larson a little bit crossed up in the on the cushion again, a little too sideways. Breaks the car loose to get it turned, and then drives straight and has to turn it again. Don't make 3 or 4 corners out of 2 corners. If you can be as smooth as possible and straight as possible, and I don't mean straight. I don't mean straight like he is right now, straight this way. If you get inside of his car, his down tubes here aren't really pointed in the optimal direction, so to speak. Eder here, he's got a good exit of where he wants to go. He's got some bent up. I think he was the one who got into Bryce when he crashed there. Bruce here, again, pointed right where you want to be, pointed on the exit of the corner. Greg was running, I think he slid up a little bit, and he's getting pointed where he wants to go. Kelly, same thing, coming off those marbles. Myself, again, you're following the natural curve of the corner. That is what I mean by straight. I don't mean keep your car straight, pointed. If you're back here, you don't want to be pointed out here. You still need some rotation in the car to get that drive through the corner, right? So, you don't want to do this, okay? This is where, when I talked about, but it's been months. I talked months ago about, fix your entry before you fix your middle and your exit. Okay, so we saw Marcus have 2 sloppy entries right away. So that messed up his middle and that messed up his exit of the corner. And someone got into the back of him again here. But you've got to know that as the car behind. This guy's messed up on the top and he's trying to get his car right. And again, Eder gets in the back of him. Greg tries to turn underneath. Not a lot of room for that to happen. And I benefited by laying off the previous corner and then getting through, unscathed around the top. Kelly slides up in front of me here, hit the brakes to cut underneath him. Nowhere to go, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 cars basically in my path here. Nowhere to go. Once they get going, you can get back in the gas. I see this guy turn down. I can get back and file in behind Kelly here. And we just made 2 passes in that corner because we were patient the corner before. We were patient in 1 and 2. We hit the brakes, let everybody get situated, and then we made the 2 passes in 3 and 4. Again, go back up to the marbles here. Not much of a cushion yet, obviously, so it's not, as fast as it will be later on. That's why I didn't run my fastest lap till lap 28. We're in traffic a lot. Things were going on in front of us, okay? Now we got almost 4 wide going into turn 1. Generally, the unluckiest place to be in this situation is right here. I think I got pretty lucky on this lap. A lot of times you'll see this car hit this car, or this car hit this car, or this car slide into this car, and then somebody darts out to the wall, just head-on collision into the wall. And then you back here, just minding your own business, trying to be patient, end up head-on collision with that guy right in his door panel, right? Nothing you can do about those. You just got to chalk those up as bad luck and, withdraw from the race and sign up for the next one, okay? That's going to happen in situations. You can't control everything that goes on in front of you, right? I see Kelly go try to get up to the marbles here. Got a little bit more sideways than he wanted. There's that seam here in Charlotte, right? So if you enter right on it, if you're not high enough or you're not low enough, you hit that kind of second banking, and it almost comes together like this. I don't know if I can do it right, but you can see the kind of the V my hands are making, right? So part of it's flat, and then you get up to the cushion. Well, if you get a tire here and a tire here, it kind of you just lose kind of steering. It's weird. It happens at Kokomo. It happens on the banking, or not the banking, the flat inside part of Lanier. It happens here at Charlotte around the top. It happens at Fairbury. Fairbury's thin, man. If you don't hit Fairbury right, good luck making it around that corner. It happens here at Charlotte too, so it looks like Kelly just probably got into that. That pushed him up. You can see his wheels are turned left here, but the car just won't go that way. He's sliding up, and finally the car catches the marbles and gets him drive off. I noticed that. I have to get all kind of squirreled up, but you're always checking around you, right? If there's a guy below me, I can't just wind this thing up and get it spun left to not hit him, because then you crash somebody else. I knew there was nobody coming up, so I had enough room to make that move. And then again, right here, just, not the optimal line you want to be in, kind of in this weird middle slimy area on lap 5, but it's only lap 5. Okay, 3 wide coming off the corner, brakes, and hit the bottom where nobody else is at, and just stay out of trouble for the first 10 laps. That's all you're trying to do. Hit the bottom again. Think we make that pass stick. We do. Patience pays off in turn 1 because we end up getting the pass in 3 and 4. Okay, get back up to a little bit more moisture where I wanted to be earlier on. Kind of a short slider line there on that guy. Get back up to these middle marbles here. And that crease I was talking about in 1 and 2, it's not really there in 3 and 4. So you can go a lot of places in 3 and 4. If you're going to pass, like most of the tracks on iRacing, honestly, 3 and 4 just seems to be the place to do it. Almost everywhere. Charlotte, Lernerville. You can really throw like deep sliders at Lernerville and catch that banking and drive off down the front stretch. What's another good track? Eldora, slider line. I mean, I'm sure you guys have run plenty of officials there where 1 and 2, you just rip the top and then dive down and hit that slider line, and you'll set fast lap after fast lap. You do that in qualifying a lot too. And then we have an incident right here in front of us. Cobb and Bruce. Bruce sliding up, Cobb cutting down the track. Racing deal. Nobody really at fault here. Both guys just going for the same land, and Cobb does a good job of trying to stay out of everybody's way. He's kind of stayed in the same lane he spun there. But the best thing is here, if you have this view, right? If this is your view, 100% full throttle or full brake power at this point. Just hit the brakes. If somebody hits you, at least you have a way out of saying, "Hey man, I was on the why do I keep saying throttle? I was on the brakes all the way locked." Okay, he's still rolling a little bit here. You can hear him get a little bit of gas. Never want to do that because this car has nowhere to go. Okay. He does a good job initially, right? The car stays here. It doesn't roll up the track. It doesn't roll down the track. If he's locked here, he's perfect, right? Because Greg's trying to turn. Well, he just gets in the gas, just hoping for a miracle, I think, to kind of get spun back around. And that's never going to happen. It's never going to go your way. Somebody's going to always be coming in that right when you hit the gas to try and get it spun back around. And these cars are hard enough to get spun back around anyway, so it's never worth it. Okay, take the caution, go to the back, and get things refired, and you know, save your car. More importantly, because he got hit pretty hard there, and he's out of the race now as well. So, you can see Bruce here slow. I could see this. Well, there's 3 wide in front of me already, right? And I see a car facing the wrong way, pretty late, honestly. I get into the brakes. We get lucky that nobody rolls back up this way. Caution comes out, and we're good to go. Now we have a little string of cautions, I think. But we've made it up to 9th. We started... How many cars? Started in last. So we started in 15th. We made it up to 9th in 7 laps, 8 laps. What is that, 6 passes? So 6 passes and 8 laps. That ain't bad. Okay, and you're not going to be getting an EOL at the start of an official feature anyway, so you might be up there in that hornet's nest, and you've got to be prepared to avoid those situations. The pace car is somewhere. We'll go find it. I know we're getting a lengthy video here, but are we green? Oh, we are green. What the heck happened? Oh, it was double file. Then they tried to reset it. Yeah, so everything kind of got messed up. I don't think there's a crash on this one. Oh, there was. Well, here's another thing you never want to do either. This is Tim Nagy. Okay, here's another view here. Okay. You get into this corner. I'm not sure what was even going on down the front stretch. Or back stretch here. Oh, okay, they were into each other here a little bit. So, Carter's inside just comes up a little bit. He comes down a little bit. And that kind of shoots him into the wall. Right here, you hit the wall pretty hard. You've just got to keep it pinned here for the corner, right? You were in 2nd or 4th or 3rd, whatever. You're going into that corner. There's a hornet's nest of cars coming behind you. Never turn down the track when you're stuck in the wall in the middle of the corner, because nobody knows. I mean, granted, some people are going to be like, okay, that guy's definitely going to turn, but not everybody can see it. And we'll check out this view again. This guy getting into the corner. Make pretend his view is this. Doesn't see a car. I mean, you can see a little bit of a wing there, I guess, right? And bam! And has no idea. Has no idea what just happened. He's probably thinking like, did I just slam into somebody? No, not really. I mean, you ran right through the corner where you're going. He's a little tight in the middle of the corner there, pushing higher than he probably wanted to. But now there's 3 cars out of the race. A lot of cars get collected in that. When your car gets stuck in the wall like that and you're at the front of the field, you've got to have some special talent to be able to turn that thing off the wall. You hit your right rear pretty hard on this opening already, so it's already broke. Right? But if you just get kind of stuck to it and glued up there, you've got to just be patient with it getting off the wall. You can't just yank it down. You got to try and stay in that lane up here and just get going. Never come down 2 lanes there and end up something like that. I got really lucky there. And this is another thing as well. You're way back here. You see this car? Check what's going on before the race, the heat races, the practice. Look for these things as you're warming up. Throughout the feature. If you think, okay, a lot of guys have been a little off in this race. They've been doing things that you want to avoid. Here, look how sideways to get this car, because I know, okay, that guy's probably going to turn that off the wall, and that guy's in the death zone. And if I go up there, he's getting shot back up into him. Oh, shoot. Boom, hits him, and you're just hoping and praying you've got, enough drive kind of to get out of the way of that. And luckily there I did. If I stayed around the top, I'd probably get collected right there. And then my race would be over. We're up to 7th now. And we haven't passed very many cars, right? We're just kind of playing the attrition game. Okay, so driving in traffic isn't always about making passes. It more often than not, and I'll say it again, as you're gaining I rating, you start at, I think it's 1350, right? When you get your rookie license. As you go up and up and up, you race 305s, and then you race 360s, 410s, or you want to do midgets, or you want to do non-wing, whatever it is. It's all the same principles that if you can finish the race 99 times out of 100 official races you do, you're going to be climbing, right? So, but if you're constantly making mistakes in traffic or letting other people's mistakes get a hold of you and collect you in their wrecks, then you're going to be stuck at that plateau that I talked about. But here now, I know there's only a few cars in front of me that I've got more open, clean air, and I can do a little bit more riskier things. I can cut off the cushion like this. I can cut off a 1 and 2 and try to get a run down the backstretch on Bruce, and then slide him. There's a pretty decent gap here. Actually, we laughed about this one because I had told Bruce, man, I went to the bottom at the perfect time, I guess. This guy just gets, real straight and tight off the corner, it looked like, and he got into the wall and took Bruce's front wing with him. And that brought out another quick caution. Here's another one of those that, let's go on board with Bruce real quick, and let's watch this because, like I said earlier, right, it's not always avoidable. You can't always... You sometimes you just got to chalk it up and say that wasn't my race this time, right? You might have been in third, you might have been in fourth, you might have been fighting for a top 5 on lap 28, and something like this happens. Yeah, it sucks, man. It absolutely sucks, but you just take it and wear it on the chin a little bit and hope it doesn't happen in the next one. This guy spins right in front of Bruce. There's just nowhere to go here because he's gonna bounce off the wall, right? He's gonna come this way. I think I'm already probably on his inside. Yeah, so he doesn't have a lot of room to come down the track without killing another car. You'll see this happen a lot too, where guys who aren't Bruce don't care about this guy. They don't care if there's a car below them, right? So this guy, he sees this guy get in the wall. He's going to dart down the track and take off your right front and put you into probably this set of tires down here, right? And that guy's going to be like, well, there's a car wrecked in front of me, man. I had to avoid it. Right? That you hear that probably once every time you go into an official race, right? So you can cut down here and sideswipe this guy and take him out, and then be the bad guy, or you can do this and just try your best to find the hole. I mean, Bruce tries to find the hole, and you can't really fit there. You can try, but by the time he gets there, he's probably going to catch the left rear on that push bar or something. Or you can try and get lucky and just make a minor adjustment to get, try and turn underneath, and just wasn't enough time for Bruce to do it. I just happened to go to the bottom at the perfect time, coming out of 2. I happened to run that cut down. See if I can go back to it. Just happened to run the cut down. There's clean air in front of me, right? It's only lap 12. I'd rather there be, rather have, let me go back to it. I'd rather have this view right here, this clean open track, than to have this view with a car, right on their bumper coming into the corner and coming out of the corner, because then you can't see, right? Then you get collected in that also, in that lap 12 incident where this car gets in the wall right in front of this guy, and it's hard to see through the car in front of you, and then bam, you're into him as well. You got no front wing, car's broken, ticket to the pits. See you next week. So cut down here. You're trying to make moves. I try to make moves when I know I have room behind me. you know, when there's a lot of track left, you can run like a cut down and try to get moisture. I had quite a bit of room behind me. I know this doesn't look like a lot of room. Kelly's pretty close here. But I know we have momentum here. So unless he slides up and I cut down, he would have to slide up really, really hard. And he didn't. He would have to enter down here and try to slide 2 cars at once. And he didn't. You won't, I mean, hopefully not. Yeah, hopefully you won't see that often in an official race. You'll get some wild guy that does every once in a while, though, right? So it's just about picking and choosing, you know, basically where you want to be when you want to be there. You know, you don't need to be right on that guy's bumper for fourth. You don't need to be right on that guy's bumper for 4th place coming out of the corner on 2 when there's been a few strings of cautions in a row and, you know, potentially get yourself caught up in something because you're more worried about running, you know, just the perfect nailing it right here on the cushion, being on his bumper. What's the point of being behind Bruce in that corner anyway the lap before when his car already had front end damage and I would have had to be out of the gas here anyway when I could have been full throttle down here on the cut down line. I can't pass him if we're in the same line, right? So why follow him into the corner and run the same line he does if I know my car is faster when I can't get around him right here? Why not give myself clean air to avoid a wreck, make a pass, you know, see the whole track in front of me where he's not obstructing my view and be more aware of what's going on around me. Right here, this guy on the restart, I think that's Kale. Kale starts low, so I know I've got plenty of room up here to go run the cushion where I wanted to be the whole time. And that's the first time I probably have ran the cushion up there that entire time. Now I can kind of make this short slider line in 3 and 4 work. This is where I wanted to be here, below this slick line. And if I'm in the lead here, I'd probably be down here, cutting it through here and getting up to the top. But there's a car below me and there's a car up here, and I can't really get that angle I want to. And I'm not close enough to slide this guy anyway coming out of 2. There's still 6 car lengths between us. But I know I can gain time on this short slider line, do that, catch some grip on the exit of the corner, and cut that to, you know, 4 car lengths. Caution came out anyway, so it didn't matter. And then we're going to get a good green flag run here. I don't know what the caution came out for. I guess we should go back and look. Just for the sake of saying we were able to. Eder had damage earlier. Let's see what happens to his car. Just not turning it. Yeah, either the front end's probably a little messed up because he's got that wing damage. So just not able to turn it down the backstretch there, getting into the wall. And then he's kind of just a pinball from there. Again, when you're behind something like that, depending on how close you are, that's hard to avoid. But we did see this car. I think this car comes through and hits him. This is Al Denton. Yeah, so here's another great example. This car hits the wall, literally riding the wall upside down. Don't run this line. Don't run this line. You know the caution is going to come out anyway. Don't risk your car getting damaged because this guy's wrecking in front of you. There's no reason to run this line right here. When you could see him hit the wall here, cut down the track and get out of the way of that guy wrecking. Boom. No reason to go and give yourself damage there. I mean, hey, you might have ghosted through him and not got damage anyway. But that's just a case of looking far out ahead. You know, looking far enough ahead that you could see something like that happening. I don't know if Al saw that or not. I mean, I have no idea what, you know, but regardless of what your FOV is in a situation like this, whether you're way back here or you're way up here, never lifts until he hits him, right? So if you can hear that, boom, then they hit. That's a kind of one of those one for the memory bank, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like if you see this happening 10 to 12 car lengths in front of you, you've got a lot of time to get out of the way. There's nobody around him. Nobody around him, right? He's got plenty of room to go wherever he wants. Get your relative box up. You got, you know, whatever it is. spotter telling you clear all around or not saying anything, you know you've got room to make moves and get out of the way of this. And then we'll let's go back and get this green flag run and see what we got here. Okay, so we didn't complete the pass because Kale, or the lap didn't complete. So we've got to pass Kale again. He went low last time. So what's he going to do this time? He's a little bit in the middle. Kind of the same thing that happened with Brewster. I don't know exactly what I do here. He entered kind of in the slick there, got out of the brakes, and just cut down the track a little bit. Just biding time again, right? Biding my time. Now I know there's an opening getting into 1 and 2 because I cut down the track in 3 and 4. He hits the cushion pretty good. Car's got some decent speed coming off the banking. And we're going to go try to hit the bottom. I might have looked for that under caution. I'm not sure. Look to see if there's, a lane and a half of grip down there. See if it works. Didn't work. Back to the top. Don't lose any ground, but you didn't follow that guy into the corner. There's no reason to try and follow him. Now I know, okay, it didn't work last time. Let's go slide up in front of him, get back up to the cushion where I want to. Make him make a move now. See what he wants to do. Slide me back. No, he's going to try and stick to bottom. Worked pretty good for him. Doesn't come all the way up the track. This is a scary moment here, okay? When the track is slick, this is one of the scariest moments on iRacing, right? This guy entering just a lane low, right? You got your... Make pretend the track's black slick. It's lap 28 of a Charlotte feature. It's bumpy on the straightaways, and there's this moisture patch here. You can put your right rear in, and this guy's got all 4 tires probably in the slick. I'm going to ask a question right now, and you can answer in your head. What does this car usually do here when it's black slick? In your races, give you a few seconds to think about it, and you're probably having flashbacks to a nightmare, right? This car darts right into the wall and takes you out and kills you, and you both lose podium spots. That happens, 85% of the time? This guy's like, oh, God, I'm about to get past. He doesn't steer the car right. Don't ever think somebody does that on purpose. Let me throw that out there first, okay? So if it's black slick right here, and this guy's like, oh, I don't want to get past, I don't want to get past. He gasses it up in the slick. All that left rear drive in this car darts him to the wall. Right in front of you, taking both of you out. Again, another one of those things where, could you do anything about it? Yes and no, right? You're about to make a pass. You're like, oh, God, I got grip. I'm full throttle. I'm getting around this guy. Tub, right? Tub. Top's up here, right? Okay, so here's one of those situations. If it's black slick, I don't know if I try to squeeze this. Depending on who's in front of me. And if it's somebody I know that can control their car like Kale can when it gets slick, you've got to know who's around you, right? I know Kale isn't going to kill me if it's black slick, so you could make this move probably. Say you're in a top split race and, there's a guy with 5,500 I rating right here and you're trying to get around him on the outside. That guy probably knows not to gas it up full throttle in the slick, otherwise it's going to end up wrecking both of you and ruin your race. Now there's a lot of people like to meme top split races and say like, oh, they're just as bad as the bottom split races and stuff like that. They wreck each other on purpose, blah blah blah. This guy doesn't want to get 12th or 15th, whatever last place would be at this point, by gassing it up in the slick and killing you both. Yeah, there's a lot of a-holes out there that might, right? But they're not going to just turn the car right and try to block you off unless it's lap 30 and they're coming to the line right here. Then, yeah, all bets are off at that point. That guy's probably turning right, putting you into the wall to hang on to second. Okay, that, intentional wrecking, whatever you want to call it, that guy's fighting for second. He's trying to keep you from passing him on the outside at the line for lap 30. But on lap 16, I think anybody with a brain is going to say, all right, I'm going to concede that. He fit that right there. I'm going to have to just cut down and try and run the bottom here and let that go and see if I can get him back. Unfortunately for Kale, the bottom's not working very well. Cushion's too fast in 1 and 2. I finally got around him. And the pass sticks this time because there's no caution or anything. We got a little good green flag run here. Still no clean air, right? I see this Kenny Hoffman here. Kenny, one of the guys that has just recently joined, and we've been talking to him a lot as well. He's getting really, really good, really, really fast, right? Gets a little bit upset on the exit here, a little loose, and then doesn't keep it on the cushion to keep all the moisture or all the speed in the car. But I seen him run top after top after top after top, lap after lap. Now I've got only a couple miles per hour on him at this point, but I know there's no room for me to enter right behind him. I know he wants to go back to the top, so cut down early, get all this moisture through the middle of the corner, and land the slider at the exit of 4, complete the pass. I think he might slide me back. This is might have slid me the next corner. I don't know. But anyway, I wasn't sure what was going on here. So, this is another tough situation where you're battling for the lead, and this guy is just sliding up and up and up. There's no grip here to propel him down the track anymore. He's just sliding. You'll see my throttle input here. His right rear makes contact with my door all the way out of the gas. If I stay in the gas here, I end up in the wall, flipped upside down, in 12th place, and lose 157 I rating. So, all the way out of the gas for 2 seconds, probably. Let him get situated, get my car underneath me, and get going again. Is there a caution there? No caution there for the car pulling off. Like I said earlier, you want to slide people in 3 and 4 at Charlotte, and that's why right there, because the cut down is so good. He slides me back, I cut down. We do this for a couple laps. This is another thing right here too. Knowing who you're with, right? This guy throws a slider, and he comes back almost to the middle of the track. If it's just you and this other guy out here battling for the lead, you've got, what is that, 2 seconds on third? There's no reason to cut and just cut like baby cut. Cut it. Cut the track and get out of the way, right? If this guy makes a mistake and comes off the cushion or, hits the wall and comes down the track, you want to be out of the way. So there's nobody here. There's plenty of grip for me to come down here into here and get the car straight coming off the corner, and I make it stick and pull up right in front of him on the next corner. Okay, there's no reason to baby cut this right underneath him and try to run side by side, wheel to wheel, because then we just end up like we were in the previous corner, just with me on the inside and him on the outside. Then it's kind of just smooth sailing through here. Marbles there through the slick on the slider line. And we'll watch, we'll try and take some peeks back here to see if anybody else has some any battles or anything going on, some side-by-side action. But a little incident here. Let's see what happened. Let's make this the last one, right? Because there's not much after that. After this next caution, I'll show a little bit of it, I guess, just to show kind of what the line looks like here at Charlotte. So here's Al, and who's this? Patrick Cobb. Cobb's car gets a little upset in the slick, brakes sideways, and then the left rear just pushes it up the track, right up in front of Al. That's not a lot of time to react there, right? That's tough to but it led to a lot. Whoa, holy cow. What in the world? Oh, okay. Wow. That's what brought out this caution. Okay, so Nagy. Holy moly, okay. So he gets in the back of him there. Bruce, Bruce just in the wrong spot at the wrong time again. Again, nothing Bruce can do here. I mean, this guy gets turned right in front of him, and boom, you know, nothing else you can do there. But Nagy, man, he tried to do everything. 3 wide contact here in front of him. He knows this guy's all messed up and getting coming left. He's probably just got to get out of the gas here. Yeah. See, we're just full throttle with a 3-car incident right in front of us there. We can't be full throttle. Right there, boom, you're out of the gas. You've got to be out of the gas. I mean, you could see that car about to absolutely kill that other guy. Where's cockpit? Right there, boom. That's 100% going to be contact, right? So just get out of the gas here. 0% throttle at this point. You know, maybe not 0%, but enough to keep you rolling and not necessarily hammer down. Because then you do this to yourself. Whee! And you get caught up in a mess you probably could have avoided. Alright, let's show the restart here. Let's see my fastest laps. Let's just look at these 3. Right rear buried in the cushion. Right rear in the cushion again. And this is Charlotte, man. I mean, even when it gets black slick and bumpy down the backstretch, this is where you gotta be. You've gotta be with the right side tires up in the moisture, on the corners, on the straightaways, all of it. And you know, this, you could see me get a little bit messed up there. A little bumpy, bump, and it wants to turn me off the wall. Did I get out of the gas? Nope, kept my foot in it. Kept my foot in it and just wheeled it. Pretty good corner right there. I like that one. Here comes... That was my fastest lap? So if you hit these bumps, and this is what's funny about iRacing too, when the cushion pushes all the way up like this, right? Especially at Charlotte, you know, it gets real bumpy. When you can get on top of those, I mean, almost all 4 on it, it's a little frustrating because, you know, you'd be slower, if anything, if you try to do this, in a real car. From, you know, I've never sat in one, but from all the racing I've ever watched, you get 4 tires up into the fluff, and you know, that unpacked dirt isn't very fast. But on iRacing, this cushion, if you can get up in the bumps, man, and keep the car controlled, man, it's fast. And the cushion can be super, super thin. And you guys want a good representation of it, go watch the Eldora Pro Race with Tim Ryan, Alex Bergeron, and Hayden Cardwell, with 4 tires as close to the wall as you can get every lap. That's what I'm talking about. That is going to be the fast line almost every time around the track. You can see this lap's a lot slower. I don't know if something 3 and 4 might have happened. It must have been because my exit on the previous lap. But, oh no, that was this lap. So let's go look at this lap. What did I do here that slowed me down so much? But anyway, right? So if you can get all the way up there, and you can set the car up, or you can control it, you know, with your hands and feet that well, it's extremely fast to be all. I mean, even higher than I am, like right there, like up there, all the way around the corner, even from back here at this point, right? If you can be out here, it's ridiculously fast, and you can keep this left sides right where my right sides are, basically, and then move this right rear up. The car's going to bounce and shake like hell, honestly. But if you can set the car up to be soft enough to absorb it and tall enough to not bottom out, God, it's fast. But, you know, you've got to practice it. You know, it's hard to get track states like this and get it, you know, even more slick than this is. And you just got to get some buddies or something, or throw up some hosted races with long practice sessions and just try it out. It's not easy when it's the pre-generated stuff we have right now just doesn't work. You can try and set to 100% test session, starting track state, but it's not going to do anything for you, right? So try and get some host races, start them at 0% or whatever, and burn them in, and then hopefully you can get a lot of practice out of it on that. But as far as the traffic stuff goes, I hope I was able to help you guys. I spent 45 minutes here. I'm sure most of you fell asleep by now or tuned out. But it's been a while since I uploaded. I'm going to try to, be more consistent. Got some announcements coming up soon, so stay tuned for those. Not necessarily iRacing related, but some just different stuff. And that's about it for this one, man. If you guys got questions, like always, leave comments. When you guys like the videos, that helps a lot with pushing them out to more and more people on YouTube as well. So I really appreciate when you guys do that, and the comments and stuff as well. And appreciate you guys still staying subscribed and hanging on with me. I know it's been over a month, I'm sure, since I uploaded. So appreciate everybody's patience, and I'll try and get more of this stuff out. I really like doing this Ignition Series stuff with these guys. This is the kind of iRacing I enjoy. Not the winning against the Ignition Series, but I like helping you guys get to the level that myself, Tyler, Shell, Braden Eiler, Greg is in this race, Bruce, that we're all maybe 1,000 hours ahead of you, but you can get there if you just ask questions. And there's a lot of people in iRacing who aren't going to be willing to answer those questions. They might not respond back. Hell, the other day some guy sent me a message in a official race, and I didn't even see it till the end. So a lot of times I'm just not paying attention, or I'm not even in here. But send me messages on my inbox or whatever it is. Just if you guys don't ask, we can't help. So that's why I like joining these races. These guys come in here and ask a lot of questions. I threw a setup out for them, I think, in this race as well. So just don't be afraid to ask questions. You can't get anywhere if you don't ask questions, right? So all of the Elbows Up started with only 5 of us, and just a bunch of kind of average drivers. I think I joined the team when I had like 2,200 I rating, and I was at 5K a couple weeks ago until I lost 300 in 1 week. I wrecked myself like 5 times. So, that's the other thing too. You can't ever learn the limits if you don't wreck on the cushion a few times. So, if you're practicing and you're not crashing, you're doing it wrong. So there's a pro tip for you. But like I said, I'm 100% not the greatest. I named 3 of the greatest earlier, three champions earlier. Those guys are obviously way more versed in this than pretty much anybody at this point. But there's still a few little hidden tips and tricks. Us 20th place pro drivers can help you with. So, and I'm more than willing to help. So if you guys got questions, man, just ask. Just let me know. What something weird with the car, or you're trying to fix something this way or that way, just let us know, man. That's all I gotta say. Join the SSR Discord. People talking there from sun up to sundown, and then through the middle of the night. So people from all over the world in that thing willing to help you, and probably the best community on iRacing right now. And I think there's like 2,000 people in there. So somebody's got an answer for you. I promise you that. So I'll try to make more of these as soon as I can. I got some midget races I want to go over. So hope you guys like watching dirt midgets. But until then, again, thank you for everything, and we will catch you guys later on. See ya.